That was obviously not the case last night, but sometimes I don't know. I think Kirk Herbstreit's just a little too positive, and I'd rather just be told like it is. I don't need Kirk Herbstreit's nice, um, you know, whatever.
Yeah, it's definitely weird seeing him call NFL games because, like you said, we're so accustomed to seeing him on the college side. But I thought it was a good mix because Al Michaels has been around. He has different banter than Kirk Herbstreit. I thought it was a nice mix, and I thought Kaylee Hartung, the sideline reporter, I thought she was pretty decent. But there was one complaint that my roommate brought up, and he wanted me to bring it up on the show, and I'm going to do that right now. He said that obviously with Amazon Prime Video now having Thursday Night Football, it's not like you can turn on your TV and it's not like it's a channel you can just flip to. It's a streaming service which you have to pay for. And he said for a game like last night, that was a pretty high quality game.
That was a premier game. That should not be on Amazon Prime. I agree with that.
And listen, I think that he has a good point. And his actual point was that's true. It was a very high quality game. And I get that Amazon,
I mean, those are two Super Bowl contenders.
Kick off their Prime Video Thursday night series with
I think that's why
game, which they obviously did. Because Herbert and Mahomes
they paid so much for it, so they probably asked for
it.
Right,
and
games.
Herbert and Mahomes are two superstars, and their teams are supposed to be pretty good this year. They definitely should be contenders. But basically, my roommate was saying that it's a shame that for people that don't have Amazon Prime, they don't have the subscription, they're not able to watch. And it reminded me last night, actually, from what he said, because I was watching it somewhere else, and I was watching it somewhere else first, and then I went somewhere else to watch it, and I saw NFL Network on one of the TVs, and on the bottom ticker, it said that tonight's LA Chargers versus Kansas City Chiefs game on Thursday Night Football can be viewed exclusively on Amazon Prime Video, and they had a rerun of the Monday night game on, and it's just weird.
Yeah, that's another problem they have too. Is like what do restaurants do?
Only one TV actually had it on last night at the place.
There's only one service that I think has a way for restaurants and bars to get it, and that's DirecTV.
Right.
Because I remember hearing about it just because I already knew previously, but at the same time, it's like that's not a great look. Like I don't know. I relying on the internet is not always better. Just because something is more efficient doesn't always mean that it's the better way to do things. And also, I know the NFL doesn't care because of money, but I'm really interested to see the ratings. You think up or down? Because, I wouldn't be surprised if people are just finding other ways to watch it, if you know what I mean, like just on illegal things.
Yeah.
Because it's sometimes just so much easier than just logging in on Amazon and then doing this and doing that.
Yeah, I can relate to that. I've definitely gone on illegal streams and tried to watch games before.
Yeah, and sometimes
especially when your team's not in the market where you are.
Yeah, that's another
thing.
And
I dealt with that week one. Luckily, I don't have to deal with it this week. But
my whole thing is like, I think they should find a way. If Amazon was smart, they would come up with maybe find a way to get the game on TV, just so people who want to watch it on TV can. There's got to be a way, right? There has to be a way. Like even if it's like I don't know, just maybe a channel, like an extra channel per month or something. I don't know. I think we're going to definitely see the scope of this change. I wouldn't even be surprised if Amazon just comes up with their own 24-hour sports network because they dedicate so much to sports. I mean, they already have Thursday Night Football, and they also have the Yankees too. They cover the Yankees all the time.
Right.
We have not half, but I would say we have one game, sometimes two a week that are on Amazon Prime.
Yeah.
And the quality stinks.
The thing is, we all know that Amazon's a huge company, and we know they have a lot of subscribers and customers. I mean, millions of people go on there every day. So you would think that people have Prime Video, and they would probably guess that early on they would get viewers. But yeah, you're right. For people that don't have it, and it's just hard to watch because it's not like you flip on the TV and bam, it's on. You have to go through the app, and you got to have a certain TV with the app.
It's a pain. It's a pain. It's not,
definitely something that
not an enjoyable process at all.
Keep an eye on.
Yeah.
See how it goes for the first month or two, and for the rest of the year, because this is obviously something new. But yeah, we'll see how that goes. But
let's get into the game really quick here.
Yeah. We bring on our two guests.
Yeah, they can talk about the game too. Yeah, let's get them in here.
Yeah, so
Aiden, Hemback, how are you guys?
Sean, welcome to the show.
Doing well. How are you guys?
Good. What'd you guys think of the Amazon part of last night? Did you guys?
It's a little glitchy.
I agree.
Yeah.
It would just be like slow motion, and then it would cut to the game like a minute later.
Boz made the observation that it was kind of hard to see how many timeouts they had. Yeah, that was definitely true. But yeah, I guess it was all right. And Bezos next to Goodell was kind of funny. Other than that,
See if they have a game in space soon.
Yeah, CEO entrepreneur, born in 1964. Got to get him out there.
The Moon Bowl.
Yeah. That might, you'd be surprised. And part of the NFL's international series, Jeff Bezos' space stadium, the Seahawks versus the Raiders. That's probably the game it'll be.
Yeah.
All right, so let's get into the actual game here last night. The story I think is Herbert's injury. Getting through that. Whew. But first, let's start like how the game really started here. I thought the Chargers in the beginning were going to run away with this thing. I mean, they were scoring, and the Chiefs were kind of didn't look that great on offense. I was almost a little too happy. I thought maybe the Chiefs aren't that good, but then, I mean, the turnover is what killed the Chargers. That pick six kind of sealed the deal for them because
That's a huge momentum swing.
they had a huge drive going, and I thought they were going to put that in the end zone. And that was going to be the end
That
of
could
the
have been
game.
the dagger. Yeah.
That could have been the dagger. And when that pick six happened, which by the way, the reason it happened is because was it Palmer or was it Everett? I can't remember.
I don't
who it was.
remember
The
either.
receiver that was in the game that was throwing the ball, he had called to go to the sideline the play before. And so he went out. They were like, no, stay out there. Because I guess it was the package that he was in. So he needed to be out there. And so he runs he halves it. He dogs it basically when he does the route, and he doesn't turn to the right side, and he's not in the right spot. And Herbert threw it to the right spot. And then this guy was just standing there. And that's how it got picked off, is because of the receiver's laziness. But I thought it was funny that he asked to come out of the game, and then he makes a mistake. I bet the Chargers wish they took him out of the game. That's for sure. But that pretty much that completely changed the game, because you're right, Jeff. That was a momentum swing.
Yeah. I would say that neither team played like amazing. I wasn't really impressed. It was like a back and forth.
No. I didn't think either team really was that good.
I thought Herbert was better than Mahomes. I think he threw for more than 100 yards.
He did. He
Ben
threw for
Mahomes
more.
did. I
He
think
threw for
Mahomes
more.
was like 235. Herbert was like 334.
I'll say this though. They both had one pass in yesterday's game that both just absolutely amazed me. Herbert's was the one, the second to last pass that I guess completion that he had, the one that got them near the goal line. That was a amazing
That was
pass.
4th and 1.
Yeah, he was injured.
a bullet.
That was right after he didn't run too.
Right.
And he was hurt by that point. But that was an amazing pass, especially since he was hurt. I mean, that kid is a good quarterback, and he's going to be for a long time.
Yeah. The other thing about Herbert last night that I saw, he was running for his life all the
Yeah, the
time.
Chargers O-line really
And it
did
doesn't
not-
help because their center and I think their right tackle or guard, both of them were injured last night. So that's not good news. But Aiden Orham back. One of you can chime in. Any thoughts on last night? I mean, who do you like more going into the game and now that the game's over? Like, do you think the Chiefs are still the dominant team in the West, or
Rest v Chargers, Buzzy. That's all that's in the matter.
Wait, what'd you say?
Rest v Chargers.
Oh, okay.
Three
I-
taken away on Mahomes.
No,
Yeah.
there were some dumb penalties though on their part.
I don't know. There was one where the Chiefs dude literally just ripped the Chargers guy down, and then
yeah.
it was just taken away. They were like,
I think there's.
defense,
I
and I'm-
agree with
bad
that.
interference offense.
I think there's an argument to be made that Amazon really just needed a good game. They needed to keep it close. With that being said, the Chargers don't let Herbert cook. Like they just don't let him throw the ball down the field. They
Aiden,
just make him throw it at the line of scrimmage.
Aiden, did you see how many yards they average on the first and second down the field? They throw passes. They throw the ball 3.8 yards in the air. That's the time to take shots. You have an elite quarterback.
Like you have Joe Flacco and
I was gonna say-
Yeah, or Zach Wilson, Mike White. Those are the guys you got to push down the field.
Chargers are idiots. I mean, honestly, throw the ball down the field. 3.8 yards on the early downs is just unacceptable. At least give yourself a chance out there. Come on. I mean, that's
like what's the point in having Justin Herbert if you don't let him throw? I don't
I'll take him.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'd take him real fast.
Yeah,
we can make that work.
Yeah, I'm sure. I think a lot of teams could make that work. And honestly,
I think the Broncos would somehow mess it up, though, Jimmy.
oh,
well, I mean, hey, we'll see what happens with this team going forward. But I didn't think the quarterback play on Monday was that bad, to be honest. I really didn't.
Jimmy, October 23rd.
Anyway, we're not gonna continue with that baloney because the Broncos don't matter. We're not here to talk about them. We're here to talk about the Jets, a much better run team. That's the reason you guys are on this show today. So Hemback, I watched the Jets game on Sunday when they played the Ravens, and I'm gonna be honest, all the Jets fans are sitting me here telling me like there's some positives I mean, I guess there were positives. I mean, what were they?
Jimmy, I'm just gonna come out and say this: the two best corners in the league, DJ Reed and Sauce Gardner, combined for 1 catch allowed for 8 yards, and they had an interception.
I thought Sauce was good. They never really went his direction.
That's only duo right there.
They never went in Sauce's direction. So I guess that's a positive.
BFF says Sauce Gardner is better than Pat Surtain.
I don't know about that. I mean, who do the Ravens have receiving?
Look up the scores, Jimmy. Look up the scores.
What do you mean? The Broncos defense gave up less than the Jets.
No, PFF scores.
Oh, PFF scores? Come on, head back.
Yeah.
Come on. Don't come on here with PFF scores.
Jimmy.
Pat, what did Pat Surtain do that just moved him automatically down? Can you what? He gave up 36 yards to DK Metcalf?
36? Oh my god.
36 is nothing. And no touchdowns.
That's more than 4 times Sauce gave up, Jimmy.
Well, I mean, listen, at the same time, Sauce was on
4.5,
Sauce did do a good job.
4.5.
But who are the Seahawks supposed to throw it to? I mean, they only have DK Metcalf and Tyler Lockett. Surtain's going to have to be on one of them.
Yeah, and they got 4 times the amount of yards.
No. He was on. He only allowed catches to Metcalf, and it's only because he's bigger than him. But he kept everything in front. I wasn't mad at all. He didn't give up a single touchdown. It's not like it's Trayvon Diggs out there getting burnt. Come on, be serious, head back. You're 36 yards. You show me Darrell Revis's great season all the time. 36 yards. You consider that a W in that season?
Well, I mean, again, when it's against a good receiver like Randy Moss, who's got Tom Brady throwing.
You don't think DK Metcalf's a good receiver?
I think he's okay, but I mean, he's also got Geno Smith throwing to him.
Jet legend, Geno Smith.
Yeah, Jet legend.
Well, so you two bring up the defense, and I actually thought early on the defense wasn't too bad.
The Jets
they only
defense?
allowed 10 points in the first half. I thought they were doing pretty respectable job, and then obviously they let up those 2 long touchdowns, so that kind of ended it. But I wanted to bring up the offense because
their offense is horrible. The O-line might actually be the worst O-line I've ever watched.
So I was checking the box score from last week's game, and I actually was surprised to see that Flacco threw for 309, and I was like, okay. But then I look over and I see the attempts, and I see 59 attempts, and I'm like, 59. Okay, all right, that's where I need to think for a second. But Aiden, what do you think they need to do? Like, they obviously should not be throwing that much, but I also thought, because we watched the game together, at least what I thought was, he just seemed like he was standing there and he's waiting to take a sack.
He's a statue back there.
I know he can't really move that well, but what do you think they have to do better? Because Cleveland's defense, especially, you got Myles Garrett coming for Flacco this week. That's
a nightmare.
It's a tough matchup for anyone. But what do they have to do?
It's so helpless, Boz. I mean, you have Flacco throwing 60 times, damn near, and then he says he needs to complete more checkdowns after the game. And then Monday, Saleh shows up and he's like, "I'm taking receipts. I'm keeping the receipts of who's talking down on the Jets." It's like you win 4 games every year and you're taking receipts.
Yeah.
Like for what?
Here's one coach. Here's one coach. The Jets stink. You need to be better.
I mean, they can't block Myles Garrett, so I don't know what they're gonna do. Maybe run it more, maybe check down more. It's gonna be tough.
I'm gonna be honest. There's no way any Jet fan wants to see Joe Flacco out there, right? There's no way. This guy is not
White out there, Jimmy.
I'm being serious. You know what one Jet fan even told me that I kind of agree with? They would be better off bringing in that kid that they had from preseason to play. What was this, Strevler?
He's a legend.
The fans would be happier watching him out there than Flacco, the statue, out there. That's how bad Joe Flacco is, by the way.
He is bad.
Yeah, he's elite at the same time, though.
I don't think his performance was as bad as people are saying. It was bad, but it's not like it was the worst thing.
No, he was pretty dreadful. In the third quarter in that game, did you have any confidence in Joe Flacco? Because I watched it and I was like, no doubt this guy's the worst guy to start at quarterback this week.
I wanted Mike White out there since the first snap, Jimmy.
I mean, I honestly, what's stopping them from giving another chance, especially if the game goes just as bad as last week?
We got the Bengals week 3. I'm just saying.
There you go. That's the Mike White week.
Yeah, there were Mike White chants during the game on Sunday. So the fans really want it.
There probably should have been. That is the most deceiving stat ever that Joe Flacco had 300 yards. I don't even. It's kind of crazy to think about, to be honest with you. I'm really surprised he got that high. But let's talk about the game this week, because I feel like the Browns they're almost like a sleeping giant to me, because I like the rest of their roster a lot. I just know quarterback is not that strong. I have a feeling this game could get ugly for you guys. Really ugly.
Just reminds me of the Jets, Jimmy. Just waiting on that QB.
The Broncos or the Browns remind you of
Yeah.
the Jets?
Yeah.
How so?
I mean, the Jets O-line, pretty
No.
solid.
Oh,
Michael
no,
Carter,
no, no,
Michael
stop,
Carter
stop, stop.
averaged 6 yards a carry last week, Jimmy. And
No,
he's got
that's
3
good,
fumbles.
but you can't tell me their O line is good. That might be because maybe Michael just Michael
They're
Carter
just
guy's
Hoyt right
amazing.
now, Jimmy. There's Hoyt.
There's
And the
no
wide
way
receivers are
the
solid
Jets
too.
line is
I would say better,
You
maybe
think
even
you're
better
you're
than
actually
before.
crazy if you think that the Jets line is good. There's no way.
It's solid, first of all.
Yeah. I don't know, Jimmy. Just reading the Hounds 23 chat, someone said Jets money line last night, so I think that I might have to.
I mean that was crazy talk. That was actually crazy talk. Because
Crazy
the
talk till it
Jets
happens,
didn't even
Jimmy.
deserve to have a money line. It should have been taken off the board because it was such an impossible number.
I don't know.
I don't
I
know.
like.
I
I think
wouldn't
they
even
could
say the
cover.
Jets are the worst team in the league this year. I think there's a team that maybe lost to a bad team like the Seahawks because they decided to kick a 65-yard field goal instead of
Stop.
going for it with
Stop.
45. but,
Stop.
I'll stop
If
it
you
there.
think the Broncos are anywhere near the Jets, I have a
yes,
lot
I
of
do.
news for you. The quarterback, not even close. Receiver talent, not even close. I mean, really? Like who? Corey Davis and Cortland Sutton? Come on. Well, at least one of those guys has went over 100 yards in like the last
I mean, Corey
season
Davis
and a
is
half.
solid.
Corey Davis had another drop on Sunday. I mean, really? Why did he even? Why is
I
that guy
got,
even
I got
playing?
I got
Backbreaking
$10
drop.
on the over for Corey Davis, 20 receptions this year, and it's looking great.
Well, I don't know. I mean, Corey Davis is not good. Really, the Jets.
Uh,
I'm going to be
Jimmy-
honest.
Jimmy, he
I'm just
would
going to say this
destroy
now.
you in
I
a
don't even know why
1-1.
we're talking about the Jets because we're just repeating ourselves. The team stinks. The team has stunk forever. They're one of the worst franchises in sports. I mean, they're kind of a joke. I mean, they've been a joke for a while. Like, I know they got a GM who appears to be more competent than the ones in the past.
Best
The
team in the
Jets are a
league.
joke. They've always been a failing franchise. When you think they're going to turn it around, disaster strikes. I mean, they drafted Darnold high. Boom, guy stunk. Like it just didn't work out. Now they drafted Zach Wilson high. I hope for your sake that he's good, but if he's not, I mean, then it's just going to be the
Dog
same
off the
thing
field,
over
Jimmy.
and over and over again.
He is a dog off the field. But the thing about Joe Douglas, Jimmy, is, he's better. Like, he's a good GM, but I think Jet fans love him just because he was like a universally accepted hire for the first time in like 30 years by the Jets. I think the fans are like adamant that it works, even though it's kind of not working.
I disagree, winners. I disagree.
Well, here's the thing. It's a long rebuild. Like, I think you have to give him a lot of time. How many seasons has he been the GM for? Has it been like 4?
2020 was his first year.
Oh, 2020. So it's
Well,
been-
he was around during
2019.
2019, but it wasn't his
Yeah,
team.
but
Oh,
it was
no,
after
he
the
came in
offseason.
after the draft, right?
Yeah, it was stupid.
So they let McCagnon draft.
Incompetent.
Yeah, that was the
And then
stupidest thing
McCagnon's
ever.
third-round draft pick got cut before the season started, and then he went
Yes.
to the Seahawks practice squad and got cut from that too.
That was the stupidest.
But Jets
yeah.
fans want him back, Jimmy.
That's the most Jets thing I've ever heard. And then the Le'Veon Bell signing.
I was really
Jets fans
excited
want him
that
back,
night.
Jimmy. Jets
that was
fans
fun
want
for
him
them
back.
too, yeah.
Everyone in this room right
You know,
now.
it was going to be a failure from the beginning.
That night was a lot of fun.
I
I,
knew
was
it was-
listening to that rap album for Clues, Jimmy.
I mean, it really. The Jets are kind of sad, guys. Like, how do you put yourself through this? Be honest.
I don't know. I don't know why I do it anymore. Honestly,
Yeah,
It may be a painful process, Jimmy, but when they're on top, no one's going to be happier than me.
Well, can
that's true. It's,
I'm
you're,
going to
you're
flip
definitely
my
gonna
own
have your
card,
way, man.
Jimmy.
I was going to bring up, speaking of sad franchises, I was going to bring up a team that's not too sad right now, a team that's probably trending in the right direction that all three of you are a fan of, the Yankees.
I
They've
mean,
been
I would
better.
say trending in the
I
right
don't know
Brian
about that one,
Cashman's going to
Todd.
be fired after we lose in 5 from ALDS.
yeah, we got to fire. I agree. Cashman's got to go.
Cashman is so bad,
You
and
just
Yankees
woke up a
fans are
sleeping
like, he's the
giant,
best
Bud.
GM in the league, but he has one World Series win in
Let's-
his entire life, and that still was with Gene Michael's
Yeah,
squad.
no,
Besides
but
the ball.
And literally, this guy has gotten put on a pedestal. He has done nothing. He has built one good team, and it was all through free agents. He's horrible at drafting. What prospects have we ever had that have really worked out?
Only
One,
Judge.
Aaron Judge. That's it.
That's it.
Everybody else. has been
Everyone else
by
is
somebody
free
else.
agents, Jimmy. Everyone else is free agents. The
There
guy's
is-
a bum.
There
The
is
guy's a
one
bum.
thing that Brian Cashman is good at. One thing. And that's building a bullpen. Like, he should just be a bullpen manager because he would have the best bullpen I've ever seen. We always have a good bullpen. Maybe the Phillies should hire him, Jeff. Their bullpen could get straightened out.
It's been straightened out a little bit.
All right, there you go. So you're happy, and I know in the past it hasn't always been great, but
No, it has
to say
not.
that the Yankees are trending in the right direction, I don't know if that's necessarily true because we've gotten lucky with the Red Sox blowing a game, and then the other one was the Red Sox literally also blew a game because of an error. So we've been handed
I
two
guess what I'm
wins.
trying to say is after August, because obviously you guys know how August went. I would say like just
A
getting some wins has been nice.
Yeah, no, it has been nice. It definitely hasn't been as bad.
Because
But
I did not think that the division was going to be a question, and it was going to be somewhat of a question after Tampa Bay and Toronto caught up a little bit. Now I feel like you're kind of separating a little bit.
whoa. I wouldn't say we're
You
pulling away
can't- you
here.
can't-
We're not
yeah,
pulling
it's
away.
not- You can never rule out the Yankees blowing
It's-
it. because
I
they're a
mean,
great team.
yeah,
The Yankees-
you know,
I know.
He should have been
I know.
fired 15 years ago.
Yeah, I mean, to say
he's a bad GM.
I think the way you're looking at them as an outsider compared to us is way different. Like we've beaten the Twins and the Red Sox, and we've split with the Rays. I mean, I don't know if we're really that great here. I mean,
Yeah.
the Rays at the best are a wild
We're
card
just
team.
set up
You're
to
struggling
lose in
with
the
them.
LDS in 5. That's what's going to happen.
Yeah, we're probably
Yankees
gonna
fans
lose.
are going to be like, oh,
You think
but
so?
we made the playoffs.
Yeah.
Brian Cashman has to stay around.
Yeah, no, I think I agree with
mean,
them.
it doesn't take an Ivy League degree and like a scientific calculator to figure out what he's doing. He just takes the older, depressed assets that have shorter term money owed, and then he hopes that the pinstripes make them good, and then that muddles up the balance sheet. But he listens to the nerds who like guys like IKF, and then he brings them in instead of signing a guy like Correa. It's nonsense. I mean, it's like you're not even the Yankees anymore. It's so pointless. Although the IKF Grand Slam was pretty cool, I'm not gonna lie. But other than that, it's kind of been frustrating just because he's going to be back and it's going to be the same old nonsense like for the foreseeable future.
Aiden, you say IKF, and that's fine. There's definitely he's had problems, especially in the field and with the power. But how about some of the other moves? I mean,
Like
Aaron
Hicks.
contract, horrible. The
Don't you
Joey
say that.
Gallo trade.
No,
I don't even know
Jimmy,
what to
no.
say. It was
I'll cut
so
you off there,
bad.
Jimmy. Joey Gallo was a great move. That
What?
was one of Cashman's shining moments.
No, yeah, I don't think so. We're clearly on a different page with that one. And then the JD move, Josh Donaldson has just not worked out. And the
It was
guy
the
is
worst
just
trade ever.
eating up money. Those are really where our problems start. Is like
Literally
the position
same
players
amount
not
of
stepping
money.
up.
For the same amount of money, you could have had Urshela and like one of the free agent shortstops, but he chose IKF and Donaldson. I mean, it's
Yeah.
mind-boggling.
Aiden, you're totally right. And I don't
Freeman could be a Yankee right now. I'm just saying.
I don't know. That's just what he decided to do. And yeah, I don't like the moves that he made either, but unfortunately that's where we're at. And I don't really know what to say besides that. It's been a disappointing end to the season, but I was really hopeful in the beginning. But without a doubt, Hemback, I agree with you. I think this team is just destined to lose in the first round.
Bad team.
We're destined to lose.
Yeah,
There's no way this is a championship Yankees team at all. There's just no way. Not with that
It's just
starting
like the dumpster diving gets so old. We could have had Luis Castillo. Instead, he went for Montes because it costs less prospect wise, and he stinks.
Yeah, you're
Really?
right. It's almost like Wilpon moves.
Yeah,
Right?
that's
Am
a
I
good way of
wrong?
putting it.
It's
Yeah.
worse
It's
than
Wilpon
Wilpon
moves.
moves, Jimmy. It's worse. I'd rather the Wilpon
It is.
be my
It's
GM over Brian
it's
Cashman.
Fred Wilpon moves, Jeff Wilpon moves, where you just go for the guy that we hope it works out. We hope we're in the hunt in August. Like that's what the Yankees have become. It's annoying. All Hal cares about is this chicken tender quota at the stadium every night. It's
Hey, whoa.
ridiculous.
Hal is one of, if not the best owner in the league. Every year he's on the team, the Yankees have had a top 5 payroll. And we can't win. That's a Cashman issue.
Yeah.
Yeah,
All right. I
yeah.
guess that's one way, but we also don't ever go over the tax either, Hemback.
That's
We
true.
do do a lot of teams. It's only the Dodgers and the Mets that are over right now.
Well, why can't the Yankees be? Because clearly we need to do something else.
Well, I think we should be looking at this issue. Would you rather have a top 5 owner issue, or would you rather have we have a GM who can't win when other people with less money can win?
No. You know what it is too, and it's funny you're bringing this up, and I got to get this out. I almost feel like Brian Cashman has like tried to mimic the Rays because he's just tired of like losing to them, and he tries to be like them and emulate them, where they get these like these diamonds in the rough. Like he tries so hard to do that. Like he loved when he picked up Albert Abreu again. He's like, oh, this guy throws 100. This is going to be great. Even though this was a guy that we cut. And then so we send important bullpen pieces like Marinaccio down to AAA. And then this guy Abreu's up here getting smacked around. I mean, geez. I mean, that is the one thing to me. That was the cherry on top of this team. Like they're not serious about winning. They're not.
Do you remember in 2020 when they tried to outrate the Rays in the playoffs and they started Devi Garcia in a playoff game?
Yeah,
that was cool.
They're trying to be
They
the
started
Rays
him for
sometimes.
one inning, and then they put in
Happ.
And then Happ let up like 25 runs in the first.
No,
It's terrible.
It's true. That's what he tries to do, and I really don't understand it. I don't understand it at all.
Just a bad team, Jimmy.
We're just a bad team, Hembeck. I guess you're right. All right, Boz, I think that's enough for the Yankees talk. We're going to take a quick break.
Yeah, actually,
Boys, as always.
one more question. Jets, Browns. I need a pick.
Jets by
Browns.
30.
That's exactly what I expected.
Yeah,
I just wanted to check real quick.
All right, boys, as always, Aiden, Hembeck, thank you so much for coming on. We love having you guys talking Yankees, and I guess we can keep talking about the Jets, but hopefully we don't ever have to do that again because that was absolutely miserable. The team is garbage. I don't know if I can talk Jets. Honestly, I don't even know how you guys watch the games, to be honest, but whatever. Thank you, as always, for coming on.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you for having me. Appreciate it.
Go Birds. I heard that. That's right. Shout out to Luke de Blasio. All right, we're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back. We have some more guests coming on right after the break, so stay with us. Welcome back into WLOY, Loyola Radio, streaming online at WLOY.org and Campus TV channel 111.1. This is After the Whistle, chopping up with Jimmy and myself, Jeffrey. We just had some guests on about the Jets, but now we're going to have some Giants fans on the show. We have Matt McHale and Tom Spallone joining us. How are you guys doing?
I'm doing great. I'm so excited to be here. I'm so excited to give Mr. Cody a piece of my mind. So I'm ready to go, man.
All right, let's hear it. Let's not waste any time.
Yeah, this will be a fun 20 minutes.
We took a little while to get you on, so let's hear it, boys. What do you want to tell me?
What's going on, fellas? Yeah, me and Mikhail have been pretty excited, honestly, ever since Sunday. The Giants were quote unquote in a rebuild right now, but like a lot of teams that are in a rebuild usually don't start 1-0, right? So we went up against the one seed in the AFC last year. We made a statement. Our coaching staff made a statement. I think this is the new era of football Giants, man. Saquon Barkley looked like his old self, and I think we're gonna be competitive.
Whoa! Hold on. What you just talked about the team like they're about to make a Super Bowl run, and you go, "Oh, I think we'll be competitive." What's competitive to you?
Me and Mikhail have been talking. There's a lot of anyone on our schedule we're not worried about. Yeah. The NFC, we're not. No team fears us.
I don't fear any team.
You're a wild card team?
No, NFC East.
NFC East.
Boz, you got to respond to that. You really think that they're better than the Giants?
Or wait.
I'm sorry. You think the Giants are better than the Eagles, guys? Like that's really.
I'm not saying that they're technically better than the Eagles, but I mean, there's no reason why we can't give them a run for our money.
I mean, honestly,
I don't like to
overreact. That's
overreact.
crazy. I think that's insane.
I don't like to.
We just beat were the Titans not the one seed in the AFC last year, or did I not?
They lost in the first round. You act like what does that matter? That
they're still a playoff team though. They won the division.
Tannehill is not good at all. You're telling me like you act like this is this great.
Tannehill played a perfect game. He didn't turn the ball over once.
He played really well.
And we held Derrick Henry to 80 yards. That could have been.
It's not like you went up against Mahomes. I think you guys need to.
I don't fear Mahomes. I don't fear Patrick Mahomes, Cody.
Yeah,
I don't fear him.
Trust me, you guys definitely should. You should definitely.
I fear God, boy.
But it's true. That's true. You only fear God. You only should. But anyway. Back to this whole Giants are making the playoffs baloney. Like what? Like just one game has totally like changed your mind? Because I don't know. You weren't feeling that positive on Saturday.
Hey Cody,
I-
can I explain where my mindset is with this?
Yeah, of course. Floor is all yours, man.
The coaching staff is completely new. It's great so far. They know what they're doing, and I have complete trust in them, Cody. And unlike your coaching staff, if you want to get into that, we can too, maybe later.
That's a long story.
But I love it. It's a new era for the New York Football Giants, and we're back, man. And we're back.
This era was awful.
Huh?
The last era was pretty bad. So
There's no denying
Yeah,
that.
I mean, yeah, I'm right there with you.
well, basically, you guys have all this confidence in the team because you love Brian Daboll after one game.
Yeah, I thought the play calling first half we were very disappointed. The Giants, it looked like the old Giant offense, but I think in the halftime locker room, Dable really talked it up, and I think their play calling in the second half was very good, and I think it's exactly what Giants fans wanted.
Now, obviously, the reason they played so good was because Saquon had a very good game, and he was the leading rusher this week. He was NFC Offensive Player of the Week. Is that the award he won?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
All right, so that was a good week for them. But long term, like, you think you're going to be able to rely on him all season? Because he doesn't have a great track record, guys.
I mean, listen, we didn't really quote unquote run him into the ground on Sunday. He had 18 carries. I mean, that's not killing him.
He's had in a while.
It is, but I mean, I'd rather him and I mean, Brady ran the ball pretty well too, but I mean, I want Barkley getting most of the carries, and I think a lot of the reasons for injuries in the past was because of our poor O-line. I mean, this O-line that we saw last week was definitely much improved. The pass protection could have been better, but I mean, we need to keep Barkley healthy, but I still want him getting the majority of the carries out there.
You guys are all over the offense, and that's fine, but I thought your defense was way better. I mean, I thought your defense did a good job of stopping the run. That was really why you guys won the game. Won the game. I'm really surprised you guys aren't talking about that at all.
Yeah, Mr. Cody.
Martinez, I was a little worried. I kind of thought that they would get ran all over, but they didn't.
Yeah, Mr. Cody, I'll tell you, the defense, they can stop the run, you know?
Yeah, clearly.
They showed it, but their linebackers in coverage, they're awful. And I think that they're going to have some problems with Christian McCaffrey out of the backfield this week. But I just want to beat Ben McAdoo so bad, man. That guy ruined my childhood.
Ben
Ruined
McAdoo
our childhood.
Yeah,
he ruined on the Panthers. What is he, the water boy? What is he? He's on the Panthers. He's a part of their.
He's the he's calling the plays on offense, man. Yeah, I know.
Wow, I did not know that, man. Holy, that's surprising. I actually thought that guy would never get another job because he was such a bad coach.
Except for that one year where they got to the wild card, I think.
Jeff, do you see that?
Was that the
2016.
Jeff, that was the boat picture. That was the the legendary boat picture. You, Mikhail, I forgot. So while we're on the topic of it, I sent it to you after the game. I said, "Is this era over?" And you told me yes. So you really just believe that because of this one win, like all the boat picture pizzazz is gone?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
I don't believe in superstitions, any of that nonsense that you guys over in Denver probably believe. But I believe if we go out, we work hard every day, we get better every day, we improve, we trust our coaching staff. I think this season is going to be great for us. And because now they got some talent, they got discipline, and it's not the old Giants anymore, Mr. Cody. I'm sorry, I have to break it to you. One quick question: are we on until 2?
Yeah, we are.
All right, because I want to save some room for the Broncos.
No, we'll get into it. We'll get into it.
All right.
I mean, we don't have to talk about them though. Like, this isn't a
Yeah, Cody, you were saying like we're not really like going all out on the defense because like honestly, the defense this year is supposed to be our weak point on our team. Our offense is supposed to be the team that's going to be putting up points, especially with the new play calling. So, I mean, I'm not going to get too hyped up about the defense after 1 week. I think the reason why we really stopped Henry is not because
they kept you in when the offense was stagnant the first
No,
half.
I agree with that. I can't expect that every week though from the personnel that they have out there. But I think the reasoning is because of the coaching staff. As we'll go back to, I think Wake Martindale on defense did a great job of coaching them up, and the defense did a good job of setting the edge on Henry and not letting him get to the outside. And he just got swallowed up in the middle. So I mean, I think it really comes down to the coaching and how you prep for the games each week. And I know me and Mikhail were talking for this Sunday. We really want to see McKinney and Love in the box a lot. And I want to see them on McCaffrey because we know Tate Crowder can't cover running backs. We have 0 coverage linebackers right now. So I want to see McKinney covering McCaffrey out of the backfield on Sunday.
Nate Crowder can't cover his own pillow.
Well, I mean, you bring up a good point.
Hey, but-
because if the coaching is as great as you guys say it is, then they'll do that, right?
Right.
There we go.
Well, the
I
other
hope
thing
so.
is Thibodeau might be back. Is he playing or no?
It's after today's practice. It's looking like Tony got put back on the injury report, but it's looking like he's going to be ready for Sunday. But it's looking like Thibodeau and Ojulari are going to have to sit out another week. I think they'll debut against Dallas probably on Monday night.
Yeah. Well, that actually kind of leads into what I was going to say. I would say just generally, obviously, I'd be thrilled. Like I'm not a Giants fan, but if I was, I'm putting myself in your shoes. I'd be thrilled about week 1 because obviously you guys have gone through some rough seasons the last few years, but getting a week 1 win, I think it was the first one because I have 2 roommates who are Giants fans. They said this is the first time they've won a week 1 game in 6 years or
It's been a
something like
while.
that.
It's been a while.
Since the
And they were
wild
going
card.
crazy when Dayball called for the 2-pointer. They're like, oh my God, what's going on? Why are we doing this? And then they got it, and then they got the stop, and then missed field goal, whatever. It was definitely a thrill in the fourth quarter.
If they didn't get that, would you guys still be as happy? I'm just wondering, out of curiosity.
Yes.
Yeah.
No, you wouldn't. Stop. No,
I
you
mean,
wouldn't.
I'd be disappointed
If
we lost
the
the
win wasn't
game.
up there, you wouldn't be as happy. You're a liar, Tom. Stop.
I mean, but
I
we were
think
still
the- I
we were
think
still
the word
competitive in
is-
the game. I mean, I like
Yeah,
that.
I think the
Competitive. Ooh. What is competitive? It's about wins.
Cody.
Oh, the Broncos
Mr.
were
Cody.
competitive this week. We only lost by 1. Woo!
Yeah, you're supposed to
It's
win
about
though.
wins. You know that. It's about wins.
Mr. Cody,
All right.
I'll tell you, I would have been upset if they had some stupid ass play call out there and ruined it that way. Like if they were
Yeah.
going for 2.
I didn't really love that play call. Like, they got the ball to the right guy, but it was an interesting way of doing it.
Yeah.
shuffle
Little shovel.
Yeah.
Yes, I would
guess
definitely
it-
wouldn't want the ball
as long as it
DJ's
works,
hands.
doesn't matter to me.
Definitely wouldn't want the ball in Danny Dimes' hands at the end of the game. That's for sure. Like I
Hey man, he's 1-0 and Russell Wilson's 0-1 right now. So
Right.
Yeah. Russell Wilson is 0-1. Yes, that not the coach. The coach is 0-1 actually. Actually,
Hey,
the coach is
plays
like
for the coach
0-8.
does not.
What? Repeat
Plays
that
for
one
the
more time.
coach does not.
Yeah, listen. I mean, we're all in Hackett's world. I don't know what that guy sees. Let's just bring it up now.
Yeah,
The
yeah,
coaching
Mr.
was
Cody.
awful on Monday for the Broncos. It was truly an embarrassment. I don't even know how you describe that disaster. I took some notes on the game, so let me just pull them up here. Like, this guy does not have any brain cells that can tell him how you, like, when you should kick versus when you should go for it. Like, this guy, he's incapable of making that decision on his own. I think we should just probably ask Russell Wilson what he thinks, because we'd probably be better off. This coach has no clue. He earlier in the game, he went for it. We didn't get it. But yet when the game is on the line at the end of the game, he doesn't go for it. And he kicks a 64-yarder, which we know our kicker cannot make. What was it? He had a 5% chance of making. Never going to take 5%. That was awful decision-making. Awful. And then the other thing I was really disappointed about, but this can't really be attributed to coaching. It's more just Melvin Gordon does this every week. I mean, it's the fumbles. The fumbles can't happen. I mean, how many times on the goal line? It was twice, right? That we fumbled. Melvin had one, and then Javonte Williams had one. I couldn't believe
They
that.
were just heartbreakers.
It
Can't
was-
Killers.
the pain, the
Cody.
suffering, it just never ends as a Broncos fan. And those goal line, it literally took me back to last year when Melvin Gordon fumbled against the Chiefs and they picked it up and ran for a touchdown. It was like PTSD, dude. I was just like, every time Melvin Gordon fumbles, I just get flashbacks
Mr. Cody.
to all the other previous losses that the Broncos have because of him. We lost the Eagles game because of him. We lost the Chiefs because of a fumble. I mean, it's just every single time. It never
Mr. Cody.
ends.
Mr. Cody, I have a question.
Sure.
You say it's not on coaching. How come ever since I first met you, Mr. Cody, when we were in freshman dorms, you've been whining, complaining, moaning about Melvin Gordon, and they still have him on the team? What's going on? They have Javonte Williams, one of the best running backs in the league.
I
what's
agree.
going on?
Yeah,
Javonte Williams,
He's a stud.
he has talent. Melvin Gordon, on the other hand, I don't know. I don't know if he just has like secret files about like he probably knows what goes on in Washington because the NFL just has to protect him. Like he must know all the stuff about Dan Snyder that the Congress is investigating him for. That's the only explanation I can find about how this guy is still on a team. I mean, it is insane. I really can't believe he's still on our team. Like, especially because we have another running back who's okay.
Yeah.
Mike Boone. And I don't know. He probably costs a lot less than Melvin Gordon does. I don't know. I've never understood why Melvin has gotten the ball as much as Javante, because I look at Javante Williams and I see this kid and I'm just like, this kid is special. And when I watch Melvin Gordon, I just see fumbles. That's all I feel like I see. Oh, and then the penalties too. You guys want to talk about the coaching again? Those penalties, they were awful. Way too much penalties. You can't have that. I mean,
Yeah,
if the team's going to commit all those penalties, we just have no chance at all. And that was something that I'll give credit to the Giants. They didn't really commit any penalties.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Mr. Cody, but Hackett, it did not seem like Hackett had that team prepared for that environment at all. Seattle's one of the toughest places to play in the league, but I mean, Russell Wilson has played there. He's played for the team. Like, you got to – a lot of times I see them lollygagging up to center with 10 seconds on the play clock. You're not going to get the snap off. You can't even hear the snap count. Like,
I'm so glad you brought that up. And maybe you, all three of you guys notice this. I feel like every time the Broncos would break huddle, they'd clap, they get out of the huddle, they all go up to the line, and then they just turn and look at the sideline. And then they're just standing at Nathaniel Hackett, and he's just like, and then Russ
doesn't know
telling him what to do.
Yeah, the play clock's going.
The play
They
clock's
don't know to wind his watch or look up at the sky.
Yeah, they don't know what they're doing out there. They were an unorganized mess. It was a disaster.
I don't understand the clock. Also, I don't understand the clock management. At the end, you have 50 seconds left. You call a timeout and set up a play.
I call a timeout.
You kick and you kick. You don't let it run down to 20 seconds. That made no sense.
They shouldn't have
cooked at that point.
They should not have kicked to begin with because he cannot make it from there. Not in that stadium.
Maybe in Denver.
Maybe in Denver, but I will say,
but it's Brandon McManus has one of the best legs in the league. It had the right distance. It just wasn't. I mean, it's a tough kick to make regardless. You probably should go for it, but the fact that he can't make it, I don't think that's true. I think he.
No. He has never made that distance, Tom. He's made 61.
Yeah, guys don't
inside in LA. That was in LA. Like Seattle is a way different ball game than playing in LA when half the stadium's Bronco fans anyway.
Well, I think the other thing is the fact that they waited 40 seconds to call the timeout.
Yeah, that made no sense.
That was so stupid.
Because if they call the timeout and say they get the fourth down, they could still maybe get a little closer, and then he has not a chip shot field goal, but maybe like a makeable 40, 45 yarder.
Yeah, you got to go for that. You got Russell Wilson in the offseason. You paid for him. You extended him. He's your guy.
I mean, you heard Peyton Manning on the Peyton Eli cast. He was holding up the timeout sign.
He's like,
what is
was
going
doing the same thing in his living room. He was calling timeout. I'm like, all right, like timeout here. Like, obviously, we have 3 left. No, we're not going to use them. Like, you're right. He's just awful with the timeout. And you want to know one of the things? I remember this specifically. I'm going to try and find the reporter today on Twitter. One of the Broncos reporters, and I swear to God on this, I'm not sure his name, and I don't want to say the wrong name, but there was a reporter who said Nathaniel Hackett will be really good at calling timeouts because he actually was a Madden player.
Oh, no.
What does Madden have anything to do with real life?
No. Apparently, video game coaches are the best ones at clock management. Well, Nathaniel Hackett must stink at Madden. I'll tell you that right now. This guy has no clue what he's doing with the timeout.
That's unacceptable.
No clue. I mean, he was awful.
Surprise freezing cold all over that.
I mean, they need to be on that because that was bad.
And Mr. Cody,
the worst coaching debut ever, like that you guys can remember.
It was up there, man.
It has to be up there.
It was up there with Adam Gase.
Oh, Adam.
Oh,
Gase.
yeah. That might be one that takes the cake.
Yeah, that was.
He's a worse coach than Adam Gase.
He's not looking good, man.
I mean, Adam Gase made the playoffs, so I mean, you're right.
It's definitely not how you want to start out your new coaching era, but hopefully they can beat the Texans. Like, I expect them to beat the Texans. Right?
Here's the thing. I'm not really worried about the players. Like, the fumbles, they happened. I don't think that Javante Williams has a fumbling problem at all. I think that was just one really bad time.
Yeah.
And I do like the players that we have. I saw bright spots. Like, I thought Russ had a good connection with Judy. That was the best game I saw out of Jerry Judy, and I don't know how long. He caught like 3 whole passes. That's huge for him.
Sutton was decent.
And he had a touchdown. And Sutton was good too. But the coaching, I don't know if it's something that we can – I don't know if that's a hump we can get over because I feel like Hackett may just be that bad. I hope I'm wrong, and I hope the guy improves, but I'm going to
I agree. But you were saying –
week 1.
Cody, you were saying the other day that you like we're not that confident in Brian Dable. Like, I don't know. I heard a lot of negative things coming from you. But did you see the clip on the sideline?
No, I never said anything. I like Brian Dable. I thought the Giants roster
after
was
the first game. You're like, oh, are we ready to take a tape parade for him? Like,
Oh, no,
mean,
no,
that-
yeah, because you guys told me you told me the Giants were going to win the division. You told me Saquon Barkley was better than Jonathan Taylor, and all after the win, and that was just you
when
guys.
Saquon Barkley is 100% at his best, he's arguably the best running back in the league. He's better than Jonathan Taylor.
He's definitely up there.
He's not better.
If
than
he's
He's
healthy.
not better than Jonathan Taylor.
I mean, Jonathan Taylor couldn't win the game for his team. Saquon Barkley did, so it shows who can carry and who can't.
Well, I think the key for you guys is listen. You
One
want
was
to
also up, and the other one was down by 17 points. You're going to run the ball when you're down 17 points. Like, what do you
I
expect
mean,
him to
he
do?
still got 30. He got 31 carries.
Yeah, he still had an okay game.
well.
Oh yeah, he had a good game. I'm
Yeah.
not saying he didn't, but
But why were you acting like the loss is all on him?
it's not. I'm just saying Saquon's like a guy that can literally win a game for you. There's not a lot of running backs in the league that can do that.
I can get along with that. I think he can
if,
do
if
it.
they didn't get that 2-point conversion, nobody here would be sitting here thinking that Saquon Barkley is better than Jonathan Taylor. And I'm telling you right now, the only people who think that,
Saquon was
the only people who think that is Giants fans. There's no way anybody else in the
I mean,
league.
Taylor is no one can beat Taylor's season last season. No one's saying he didn't have the best running back season, but it's a new year. Like we're not looking at last year again.
Oh, it's definitely a new year because I mean the Giants fans think they're Super Bowl contenders. I hope it's a new year. I hope it's not last year because if it's like anything's like last year's team, they definitely aren't. So
Well,
it's definitely a new year. We got that part.
really quickly before we have to wrap up, I agree with. I don't know which one of you said it earlier, but one of you said like the word competitive. I agree that you guys can be competitive in the sense that I don't know what the win-loss record's going to look like, whether it's 5-12 or
6-11.
it could be 5-12,
6-11.
6-11, it could be 9-8 or 10-7. I don't know. I agree that
7-10, nice season.
I do think you guys-
That's competitive stuff, boys.
I do think you guys can be more competitive. And you bring up Saquon. Listen, you want to manage the injury problems that he's had because you don't want to overwork the guy because obviously you get hurt again. But I do think you could give him the ball 20, 25 times if you try to ramp him up a little bit because he's clearly the best offensive player and player in the
They
team.
have to give it to him 20 times or else they have no chance.
Right. And the other thing, I was looking at the box score. I didn't realize Jones was 17 for 21. Like, I know he's not throwing the ball a lot, but that's only 4 incompletions. Like, that's good efficiency. I do agree, though. The 3 it's Panthers, Cowboys, Bears, if I have that right. I think they're winnable games in there. If you can beat the Panthers, go 2-0, that Dallas game's going to be huge, considering you're not going to have Dak in
That's
there.
gonna be rocking for that Dallas game.
So Dallas's offense is probably not going to be as explosive without Dak.
Can
so.
you imagine the free sodas that are going to be ready to be handed out? That's Giants, Cowboys game in that life.
Mr. Cody, Mr. Cody, let me say something real quick. Cody, Mr. Cody, let me say
Yeah,
something.
yeah, yeah. What's up?
You are all laughy and giggly and all excited trolling the Giants. The Broncos are in worse shape than the Giants right now, and way worse shape.
Fine. They'll have the same record after this week, both teams.
The Giants losing the Panthers this week.
Yeah.
Okay,
All right.
all right. Let's see.
You guys
man.
both picking the Giants?
Well,
It's
Yeah.
on record,
Last
so
question.
Yeah, it's on
Yeah.
record, and also publicly apologize to us for your comments last week.
What? Wait, the season-long comments? You want me to?
No, about how the
Saquon.
Jets are better than the Giants.
It's a season-long thing. I'll apologize at the end of the season if it's true.
Oh, good.
Apologize.
There's zero chance the
I'm
Giants
apologizing for a season-long take, week 1. You know that. Come on.
Salah's being a cheerleader for Joe Flacco while Dable rips into his quarterbacks. So I mean, there's
The
really no
Jets didn't
comparison.
even play a game with their starting quarterback yet, and Saquon Barkley has one good game, and you guys are honestly think you won the Super Bowl. Listen, I'm not a Jets guy either. I just ripped them to shreds. They're a joke, but come on, guys. You sound ridiculous. You're a team who has won 2 Super Bowls in your lifetime. You know what it takes to be good. Don't just sit there and be like, oh, we won. That's you guys. That's what you guys sound like right now. You
Hey,
guys
we'll
are
talk after.
ridiculous. You're
We'll
ridiculous.
talk after this week.
Yeah, we will. We will. You guys can come on again next Friday.
We'll be back, man.
Oh, I hope so. And I hope, honestly, the Giants are 2-0, so we could keep this going again.
We'll find out
All season long. We could just be like, oh, are the Giants good? Are they not? And then we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens.
Yep. All right, guys.
All right, boys. Thanks
Thank
as
you
always.
so much. Great stuff.
Thank you, Mr. Cody. Thank you, Mr. Buzzy.
Appreciate you, boys.
Appreciate you. Have a good one.
Appreciate it.
Thank you. All right, that's going to do it for this edition of After the Whistle. We'll be back on Monday, recapping week 2 of the NFL and a lot more. We will see you then. Have a great weekend.